What is the evidence of origin of man in Africa? The evidence for the origin of humans in Africa is based on a combination of fossil, genetic, and archaeological evidence. Some of the key pieces of evidence include fossil evidence. The earliest known hominid fossils have been found in Africa, including the species Sahelanthropus chidensis, Australopithecus, and Australopithecus ramidus, which lived between 6 and 7 million years ago. These early hominids were adapted to life in the trees, but over time, their descendants evolved traits that allowed them to walk upright on 2 legs, a key characteristic of the human lineage. Genetic evidence. Genetic studies have shown that all modern humans descended from a common ancestor who lived in Africa around 200,000 years ago. This is based on the fact that the genetic diversity of modern humans is greatest in Africa, and decreases the further one moves away from the continent. Archaeological evidence. Archaeological sites in Africa contain some of the earliest evidence for human behavior, including the use of stone tools and the controlled use of fire. For example, the site of Olorgesailie in Kenya contains evidence of stone tool use dating back 1.2 million years. Overall, the evidence for the origin of humans in Africa is robust and supports the idea that our species evolved on the continent over a period of several million years. The story of human evolution in Africa is a complex and fascinating one, involving numerous species and environmental changes over time. Who said humans evolved in Africa? The idea that humans evolved in Africa is a widely accepted scientific theory that has been supported by numerous lines of evidence from the fields of paleontology, genetics, and archaeology. The theory was not proposed by a single individual, but rather emerged through the work of many scientists over several decades. One of the key figures in the development of the theory of human evolution in Africa was Louis Leakey, a British paleoanthropologist who worked extensively in East Africa in the mid-20th century. Leakey and his colleagues made numerous discoveries of early hominid fossils in East Africa, including the famous Zinjanthropus skull from Olduvai Gorge in Tanzania, which belonged to the species Paranthropus boi. Other prominent figures in the study of human evolution in Africa include Mary Leakey, Louis Leakey's wife, who discovered numerous hominid footprints in Tanzania, and Richard Leakey, Louis and Mary's son, who continued their work and made important discoveries of his own. However, it is important to note that the theory of human evolution in Africa is not the work of any one person or group, but rather the result of the collective efforts of many scientists working in different fields and regions around the world. The theory has been supported by a wide range of evidence from diverse sources, and continues to be refined and updated as new discoveries are made. Evolution of modern humans. The evolution of modern humans is a complex and ongoing process that involves numerous genetic, anatomical, and behavioral changes over time. Here is a general overview of the major milestones in the evolution of modern humans. Early hominids. The earliest known hominids, such as Sahelanthropus chidensis and Australopithecus, lived in Africa between 6 and 7 million years ago. Over time, these early hominids evolved into species such as Australopithecus and Paranthropus, which were adapted to life in the trees and on the ground. Homo species. The genus Homo, which includes the species Homo habilis, Homo erectus, and Homo neanderthalensis, evolved in Africa around 2 million years ago. These species were characterized by larger brains and more advanced tool-making abilities. Modern humans. The species Homo sapiens, to which all modern humans belong, evolved in Africa around 200,000 years ago. Over time, anatomical changes such as the development of a more rounded skull, smaller brow ridges, and a more delicate jaw evolved. Behavioral changes. Modern humans also developed a range of new behaviors that enabled them to survive and thrive in different environments. These include the use of more complex tools, the ability to hunt and gather food more efficiently, the development of language and communication, and the creation of art and culture. Overall, the evolution of modern humans is a long and complex process that has involved numerous adaptations and changes over millions of years. While much remains to be learned about this fascinating topic, the evidence from numerous scientific disciplines continues to shed light on our evolutionary history. Theory of the origin of life in Africa? The theory of the origin of life in Africa suggests that life on Earth began on the African continent, most likely in a warm, shallow body of water such as a tide pool or lagoon. While the precise details of how life originated are still unknown, scientists have proposed a number of theories that could explain how the first living organisms arose. One of the most widely accepted theories is the RNA world hypothesis, which suggests that the first self-replicating molecules on Earth were RNA molecules, which were able to both store genetic information and catalyze chemical reactions. Over time, these early RNA molecules could have evolved into more complex structures, eventually giving rise to the first living cells. Another theory proposes that life originated at hydrothermal vents on the ocean floor, where the warm, mineral-rich water provided an ideal environment for the formation of organic molecules. In this scenario, the first living organisms could have been chemosynthetic bacteria that used chemical energy to produce organic compounds. Regardless of how life originated, it is widely believed that the conditions on early Earth played a critical role in its development. Africa, with its warm climate and abundant water, may have provided an ideal environment for the origin of life to occur. While much remains to be learned about the origin of life, ongoing research in fields such as astrobiology, paleobiology, and synthetic biology continue to shed new light on this fascinating topic.
Subscribe for more horrors and mysterious videos. Thanks.